Hi guys, in today's video we are going to look at the simplest way to do player movement. Okay, first make a 2D square and name it player. The camera is too small, so I'll make it a little bigger. I will make the player blue to make it look better. You can pick any color you like. Now let's give it an eye so we know which direction it's facing. Make the order in layer 1 so it appears in front of the player. Now create an empty game object called ground check and place it just below the player. Now add another 2D square and name this one ground. Scale it and give it a box collider 2D. Change the layer to ground layer. Then select the player and give it box collider 2D and rigid body 2D components. Now create a new script called player movement and open it. Okay, first make public floats called speed, jump force, and horizontal, and give them these values. Now add serialize field rigid body 2D called RB, a transform called ground check and a layer mask called the ground layer. Now, make a private bool called facing right and set it to true. We don't really need the start method, so you can delete it. Okay, now, on the update method, write horizontal equals input dot get axis raw, and in brackets, horizontal. Add an if statement, and write the following. So, if the jump button, which on our case is the spacebar, is pressed and the isGrounded method is true, our Y velocity will be the jump force. We will add the bool, isGrounded in a minute. Now add another if statement, and this time it will be, if the jump button is released and our Y velocity is greater than 0. We will multiply our Y velocity by half, which will make the player fall back down. This makes the player jump higher if the spacebar is held for longer. Now add a private bool called isGrounded. Return physics2.overlap circle, in brackets, ground check.position, 0.2f, ground layer. This makes an imaginary circle with a radius of 0.2 in the position of our ground check game object, which is triggered whenever an object with ground layer enters that circle. Oh, by the way, it is supposed to be serialized field and we need to add a brackets after is grounded. And I also made a mistake over here. Okay, now in our update method type, rb.velocity equals new vector 2, horizontal times speed, comma rb.velocity.y. Go back to Unity. Now in the RB slot, put the player's rigid body component. In ground check, put our ground check game object, and in ground layer choose the ground layer. Now hit play. As you can see, we can move and jump, however the player doesn't face the direction it is supposed to. So let's open our player movement script again. Here, we make a new method called flip. In the flip method, make an if statement. So, if the player is facing right, and we are moving left, or the player isn't facing right, and we are moving right, then facing right equals not facing right. Our x scale will be minus x scale, and then we set our transform.local scale to the local scale variable that we made.